YouTube, man, what's going on? It's your boy Y2Shadows, and we're back at it again with another YouTube video. And today we're going to be kind of doing a little bit of a different video. You guys know I'm a football fan. I kind of do a lot of NFL content here and there, but for the most part, because of the fact that I have Sundays off, I can kind of watch the games live. So that's kind of why I don't do reaction videos to the games for the most part. I mean, I can do some reaction videos if you guys want me to, don't get me wrong, but I watch the games live, so I kind of don't want to give you guys an inauthentic reaction when I'm watching the games live, to be 100% honest with you. But I mean, hey, if you guys want to see reaction videos for the games, I'll do reaction videos for the games too. I don't have no problems doing none of that in the meantime. But pretty much what I'm gonna do is there's gonna be kind of like a mini series, right, for the 2025 NFL season. Pretty much how I'm gonna do this, right, is I'm gonna do this specific video in 5-game increments. And then obviously the end of the year, I'll just do the end of the year. I'll do it after the end of the year. Well, not end of the year, but the end of the regular season. So how it goes is this video is obviously, as the title you can see, is pretty much how do I feel about your favorite NFL team after about the first quarter of the season, right? So we're gonna do the first 5 games. Obviously, now after 5 games, we're gonna talk about this section here. When it gets to 10 games later this season, we'll do another video then. When it gets to 15, we'll do another one then, and then at the end of the regular season, we'll do one then. Possibly, I could do a playoff preview too, how I'd feel about certain matchups going into the playoffs and everything there. But we'll see. We'll see how you guys kind of react to it and kind of go from there. But yeah, let's kind of get into it. Let's begin and let's see. Get my thoughts. Let's get my thoughts on everybody. So first off, let's start off with the Buffalo Bills. So it looks like how it's going, how NFL.com has it going, is they have the AFC. Yeah, they have all the AFC first and then the NFC next. So Buffalo Bills. Let's get started. The Bills. You can make an argument that the Bills should have lost week 1 because they were down 15 points with 4.5 minutes left to the Ravens back in week 1. So you can realistically make the argument that the Bills should be 3-2, and that would also make the Patriots probably, I think, number 1 in the AFC East right now. But nevertheless, they went ahead, they won the games that matter. So that's kind of all that does ultimately matter there. So that's all that kind of matters there with that part. The Bills, though, I'm not gonna lie, their competition though has been pretty mediocre, right? They played the Jets, they played the Dolphins, they played the Saints, and then they just lost to the Patriots. So the Bills, it's a weird thing, right? Because the Bills, they don't have a receiver that you would say is a definitive number 1 in the league. They have James Cook, who they just signed to that contract in the offseason. So they just gave James Cook that max extension. You know, Josh Allen is one of the top 3 players in the world. Well, quarterbacks, right? I mean, we'd go all, I mean, yeah, I could probably say top 3 players in the world, because I know, with all players and stuff, I know people like to have, defensive player stuff up there, wide receivers and everything, wide receivers and stuff and everything, too, but I guess say Josh Allen's probably top 3 player in the world. Yeah, you probably, again, you got one of the top 3 players in the world, and then defense has been doing kind of okay-ish for a little bit, but it's interesting. I haven't seen, outside of Ravens week 1, and that's the Ravens week 1 because they've fallen off a cliff since. Outside the Ravens week 1, the Bills haven't really had competition that's really supposed to say that they're kind of the class of the AFC. And the one team that they played that was pretty good, they lost to, which is the Patriots. So we'll see with the Bills. The Bills, I kind of need the Bills to get more big time wins. I need the Bills. I don't know how the rest of their Bills' schedule is for the rest of the year. Actually, we can look real quick. We can look real quick here because it should show. So, okay, so I mean, they got a couple, so they got some tough games coming up at least in the next 3 weeks. I mean, at Atlanta, for the rest of the Falcons, I mean, the Falcons are pretty okay this year, so fighting the Falcons should be pretty solid. And then they got a home game against the Chiefs in week 9, so they should be playing like some really good competition that will ultimately let us know how we should feel about the Bills going later into the year. Just right now, I just don't know 100%. They're like, my thoughts on the Bills is that like they're a I don't know team, because you would think they're supposed to be the class of the AFC, but they haven't really played anybody to really definitively put themselves at the top of the class. So the Patriots, man, Drake May, what a year he's having. First year, Mike Vrabel. Everybody knows how Mike Vrabel is. Mike Vrabel was a good coach down in Tennessee. They got Josh McDaniels back down to an OC instead of a head coach, and Josh McDaniels thrives in the role of OC, as y'all guys can see. Diggs having a re-emergence of a year as well. Ramondre Stevenson, though, has got to kind of get his fumbling under control, because he has had quite a couple of fumbles already this year. He's got to figure that out. They drafted Trayvon Henderson. Trayvon Henderson's been a dog for the Patriots. Love to see how he's doing there. They're just having like a real, and their team's like very balanced. They're having like a really just all-around good year. I would say that the Patriots are probably one of my more interesting surprises for this year, because again, I kind of felt that the Stephon Diggs signing was just Diggs kind of like on his last leg, kind of just saying, hey, this is the last place I could probably get like a decently big contract for before I'm now at the point where like, oh, now I'm bouncing around the league and I'm just based off of like former reputation, you feel me? So Patriots have been pretty solid this year. I like the progression of Drake May and how the Patriots are doing. What was it, Will Campbell they drafted in the first round, that they were like he died behind his quarterback, which I love to hear that. Yeah, the Patriots have been one of my more fun surprises of the year. I hope the Patriots keep this up. The Dolphins. So the Dolphins, man, Tyreek out for the year, and possibly longer, maybe his career. Tyreek, man, like, not only did he tear his knee up, but then tore multiple ligaments and structural damage in his knee. It's meniscus, ACL, and then structural damage. It's bad. Like, this might have been the end that we see of Tyreek Hill. You got Tua online talking about some, at the end of the day, when you guys shit on me, I still got a wife and kids to come home to, which Tua's mentality is just, at that point, it's just, when you're starting to talk like that, you already are just like, yeah, you kind of already just, you kind of lost there, man. Definitely lost me. Definitely lost me there, to be 100% honest with you guys. Sorry for the yawning a little bit, y'all. I did kind of just wake up and just do this video, but fuck it, we kind of hop straight in. We do this shit, y'all. Yeah, I don't know. And it's also a thing here where Mike McDaniels just is probably not going to make the end of the year. Like, he's one of the people that's on a really big hot seat right now. Yeah, it's just kind of not going well for Miami. Another thing is that I wonder too, Tua's contract is probably going to keep him with the Dolphins for like another year. But coming up soon, they're going to want to shed Tua's contract. They're going to want to get off of it. And then they're going to have to do like a full rebuild. They're going to get like a go through, see who's the next best quarterback that they can go ahead and get. Waddle, we don't know how long Waddle will be there. And I don't think as much as like I like Waddle, and Waddle's like a fast receiver as well, and then like is a deep threat, I don't know if Waddle is going to be your like solution as a wide receiver 1 in the league. Definitely a good wide receiver 2 for sure, but I don't know if he's gonna like. I don't know if you're gonna want him as your wide receiver 1. It's possible, but we just never know. Dolphins defense been pretty mediocre too. Man, Miami, it's starting to head down that rebuild path, and they're gonna have to tear everything down from the top of the organization all the way down. It's getting bad. The Jets, oh man, there's really not a lot to talk with the Jets. The Jets are the worst team in the NFL right now. Justin Fields had a couple of flashes, like that he was showing, like game 1 against the Steelers, showing some flashes, showing that, hey, the Jets might have possibly gotten a steal with that deal, but then pretty much since then it's just kind of like they paid Justin Fields $40 million for 2 years when he's been kind of just unproven, especially on his last Steelers stint that they kind of replaced him with Russell Wilson pretty much quickly. Man. And then Aaron Glenn, first-year head coach, the first ever Jets head coach to be 0-5. Yeah, it's not looking good. They're saying it's so bad. It's so bad with the Jets that Aaron Glenn might get let go after year 1, which it's really unfortunate, man. It's just the fact that you get a head coaching opportunity in this league and everything hits the fan like that. It's tough, man, but that's the way how the NFL works. Somebody gets the fall guy, somebody's to blame for it, and it might just be Aaron Glenn. Sauce has not really improved since his rookie year. Garrett Wilson is pretty much the only weapon on offense. Breece Hall has kind of regressed a lot, and Breece Hall was kind of starting to have a fumbling problem too. Yeah, man, the Jets, it's just bad in New York. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers were on a bye this week, so they didn't play. But Steelers having a really surprising year. You can make the argument that if the Steelers learned the kickoff rules, they might be 4-0 right now. Like, that blunder that they had against Seattle was a very bad blunder. And it cost them, obviously, points. And it helped them with the lead and everything else. Like, it was pretty bad over there, but the Steelers, man, really good. Like, really surprising this year. Especially because again, you have a Rodgers, who's I think the oldest quarterback in the league right now. They traded away GP, so they didn't allow GP and DK to kind of like have a combo duo up there. They just said we were willing to get rid of George Pickens and just have DK as the main wide receiver 1, which DK has been having a pretty solid year. They picked up Ramsey and Slay to help out Joey Porter in the corner slot, which the defense has kind of been like not really that good this year, to be 100% honest. Like, they've been getting up a lot of points and stuff, but TJ Watt's still TJ Watt. Ramsey early the first game was making some plays. I think though he got a hamstring injury though in the most recent game that they had played against, like against when they had lost to the Vikings. So I don't know how long Ramsey's actually gonna be out for. I don't know if he'll come back this week or not, but yeah, Steelers definitely a like, not really, I can't really say 100% more so a shocker, because Mike Tomlin teams do this every single year. They're always like, Mike Tomlin's never had a below 500 season. So like, as much as like I want to say this is shocking, because it is, it's kind of really not, because Mike Tomlin somehow always finds a way to do this. It's absolutely crazy how this like ends up working out. The Bengals. Despite the Bengals having a 2-3 record, ooh, my bad. Sorry about that. Despite the Bengals having a 2-3 record, the Bengals might be the worst team. Not the NFL per se, no, because it's definitely gonna be. I just said this is the Jets. That's definitely the Jets for sure. But I can make an argument that the Bengals are the worst team in the division. Like, I understand Cleveland. Like, you know, they had Joe Flacco. Flacco played bad, and they actually just traded Flacco to the Bengals. Funny enough, like when this all happened. But like, the Bengals offense has been so bad with Jake Browning, and their defense is dog shit too. Like, the Bengals, despite being second, literally might be the worst thing in the league. And Joe Burrow kind of being out 3 months, which is damn near the season, pretty much, has kind of hampered the Bengals there. Jamar Chase isn't happy, especially how he's been like sacrificed in stats. Well, stats haven't been coming his way because he's been having to deal with a quarterback that's just not adequate enough to really get him the ball. T. Higgins hasn't been getting good touches as well. Man, the Bengals, it's getting pretty bad in Cincinnati, and then also with the cap sheet that's being hit there too, and the fact that Trayvon Henderson, Hendrick, Hendrickson. Hendrickson may not be there soon because he was only on like a 1 year, like a 1 year extension, and it's possible that he may be gone soon, either via a trade or like in the off season. Yeah, the Bengals, the future is not looking bright. It is not looking bright at all, especially not just this season, but like beyond too. It is not looking good. Baltimore, one of the biggest disappointments of the year so far. Baltimore blowing that lead to Buffalo, and then having multiple stinkers against the Chiefs, and then like another other than who else did they lose to, by the way? Let me bring this up. I'm trying to remember who all did they lose to. I know they just got annihilated by the Texans. Like it was bad. They had gotten literally annihilated by the Texans. It was not good there. But I'm trying to remember who else did they lose to. They beat the Browns. They beat the crap out of the Browns, but funny enough, the offense just didn't look good that year. So let me see. Oh yeah, the Detroit game too. That Detroit close loss on Monday Night Football, where they had opportunities to win that game too, and it was another like Derrick Henry fumble. Like Derrick Henry's been having like a fumbling problem this year. It's not been good for Baltimore at all. They've also had a ton of injuries on the defensive side too. Kyle Hamilton, I think, is just going to be coming back this week, and then they're playing a Rams team that's pretty pissed off that they blew the game against the 49ers. Like that they had the chance to actually win, and then they just did bad play calling at the end by Sean McVay. Like, man, the Ravens it's not looking good immediately, but the good thing that is going to happen for the Ravens is that after the Rams game, there is a bye, and Lamar is expected to come back after the bye, and the rest of the year, the Ravens schedule is pretty soft. Like, I think outside of them having to play Green Bay, their schedule really isn't that difficult for the rest of the year. So the Ravens have a chance to like stack up wins on like bottom feeder teams to sneak back into the playoffs. Are they going to end up with like any of the high seeds? No, that's going to ultimately probably end up going to Baltimore, not Baltimore, but Buffalo. Buffalo is probably going to end up getting that high seed, or maybe one of these teams here from the AFC South. But the Ravens, they have a chance at least after this Rams game, which is going to be tough for them. They at least have a chance to go ahead and stack up some wins. Cleveland, you guys just traded Joe Flacco to Cincinnati. We talked about that. Dylan Gabriel is starting right now. Dylan Gabriel in his first game wasn't too shabby by any chance. They'd also just made a trade too. It was like a 1-for-1 swap with Jacksonville, which you haven't gotten a 1-for-1 swap in the NFL in like forever. So it's like, it's crazy. Like no picks or nothing, just 1-for-1 swap like for players. Like I haven't seen that in like so long. It's like it's pretty nuts how that happened. But Cleveland's just having this like own little like cause of issues. Their offense really just isn't good. They don't have a wide receiver one. Jerry Jeudy's not a wide receiver one, and they're having trouble generating the offense there. Their defense is elite though. Myles Garrett and the secondary really elite, but the fact that they have to be on the field so much because their offense can't move the ball is a issue on Kevin Stefanski. Cleveland's also got the Shador factor, which they drafted Shador in the 5th round when they already drafted Dylan Gabriel earlier, and all year you've been hearing the things about, oh, Gabriel Shador and all this yada yada, and now there's even rumblings potentially that Shador may get an opportunity at some point in this year, which means that they're gonna fail Dylan Gabriel by giving Shador a chance. It's just kind of like not really good process that Cleveland is really doing. I personally think they should trade Shador and just get him out so that they can kind of just focus on the guy they actually wanted, which is Gabriel, which that's who they selected in the 2nd round. So like focus on the guy you guys actually want in the building. But yeah, Cleveland's got an interesting road ahead for the next 5 games. We're going to kind of see if Dylan Gabriel is who they drafted him to be. Indianapolis, definitely that might be my surprise of the season. I did not envision the Colts to be really good at all. And matter of fact, like I pretty much like everybody else, I thought Houston it was running away Houston's division to lose, and the fact that the Colts are doing this, matter of fact, after the fact that they drafted Anthony Richardson like what 2 years ago at this point, and Anthony Richardson got benched for Daniel Jones, and they're now giving the nickname Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones is balling out and actually like one of the top candidates for league MVP. The Colts are definitely my surprise of the year. Jonathan Taylor, I don't know if you guys like notice, if you guys like gamblers like me, but like Jonathan Taylor just averages 2 touchdowns like every game, like damn near every single game. Like shoot, he's gotten multiple games at this point. He's having like 3 touchdown days, he's having hat tricks. Like, but I feel like it's like so common to have Jonathan Taylor for like 2 touchdowns at this point. It's ridiculous. Like he's scoring a touchdown all the time. He's number 1, I think, in rushing yards this year too. Jonathan Taylor having a great resurgence here after a down year last year. Jonathan Taylor reminding people that he is still RB1 in the NFL. Like, yeah, great year from the Colts as a whole, and I hope to continue to see Indianapolis thrive, because when Indy is good, when Indy is good, the league is just like better. It's just better when Indy is good, to be honest, y'all. Like the league, the NFL is just a better place when Indianapolis is a good football team. Jacksonville is also kind of a little bit of a shocker too. Them getting the win over the 49ers was a big one too, even though again I know the 49ers were missing Purdy and like obviously Kittle, and like actually no, I think Kittle played that game. I think Kittle came back and played that game, if I'm not mistaken. I swear Kittle came back and played that game. I could be wrong, but like I think Kittle played that game. I remember that what's it called though? Oh yeah, no, Mac Jones hasn't lost. So yeah, Purdy played that game and they lost. Yeah, Purdy came back and played that game. It's because they had like rushed him back or whatever. So it's really interesting though for Jacksonville. Jacksonville just had this crazy win where against the Chiefs last like on Monday a couple days ago, where you got the full Trevor Lawrence experience. Their defense, though, has been pretty good. Travis Hunter, they've been limiting the amount of snaps that Travis Hunter has had on the defensive side. I actually think that what's happening is at the NFL, it's just so hard to naturally play 2 positions, be in those meetings, learn the coverages, do so much, that they're just really not going to have him on defense. Like, they're going to put him on offense a lot more. And I'm not going to lie, I know he's not going to be happy about that, because he came to the NFL to be a two-way god. But, like, when you have to be in position meetings learning not only how to be an NFL wide receiver, but then also having to be an NFL DB too, it's just a lot, and you just don't get enough. You're not going to be able to get enough reps at both to be able to be competent enough. So I feel like that's kind of why they're leaning him more towards the offensive side, because he had just shown to be like a really good receiver. Hell, to be 100% honest with you, with how Brian Thomas has kind of shied away from like taking contact and stuff this year, it could be argued that Travis could ultimately end up being wide receiver 1 soon over BTJ, which is not what I would have expected going into the year, because I was like, BTJ should have been wide receiver definitive 1, and I had him going into the year as like a top 10 wide receiver. So it's been really interesting to see how that's developed. Houston's been a roller coaster this year. They've had a bunch of close games where they could have won, but they ultimately did not pull them out. They then kind of demolished the Baltimore team that's been depleted and doesn't have Lamar Jackson. But Houston's been disappointing this year, because Houston had chances not only against the Bucs on Monday night, but they had also had chances against the Rams in the opener to win the games too. Like, Houston realistically should be like 4-1 right now, but instead they're 2-3 because of some bad errors there. Houston, CJ Stroud, outside of the game this week where again they annihilated a trash Ravens team that just didn't have a bunch of people, no Lamar, and then like a bunch of their defense was hurt. Outside of that, like, CJ Stroud has just not looked really good this year. It's going to be interesting to see how they're gonna go and like evaluate CJ, because I think that CJ's probably gonna be like your best option that you're gonna have for like a while. I don't foresee any upcoming QBs coming up soon that the Texans are gonna replace him with. But like in the same breath, man, CJ has just not had a good year, and he kind of like hasn't really progressed since year 2. So it's actually not even year 2. I would say rookie year. Actually, yeah, rookie year. It's just been hasn't really progressed since then. So we gotta see how CJ looks going forward. Tennessee was trash all year, and then they pulled off one of the greatest comebacks ever against Arizona on Sunday. Like Cam Ward said, like he was like, hey, just to be honest right now, we ass. That was true. They was ass for a while. Their head coach, I don't even know their coaches. I don't even remember their coach's name, but I know a lot of people are like, oh yeah, they hope he gets fired. Like a lot of people hate his head coach. They were like, yo, the job he was doing in Tennessee was piss poor, which was absolutely correct because they were piss poor everywhere. And I don't even like his wide receiver 1 on Tennessee. I don't even know. Like I think it's Calvin Ridley, I think, but their wide receiver core is like all over the place. Tony Pollard's not even having a great year either. So like they're having a really interesting thing. But for them to pull off that comeback against Arizona, that was, I would say, the spark that they needed to kind of jumpstart and maybe see if they can start to put together a couple of wins. I don't expect them to make the playoffs or anything at all. It's year 1. Cam Ward's still doing a lot of like reckless throws, and then the team I think is just not good enough. But I think that Cardinals win is going to give them some confidence enough to where they feel that they could maybe stack up a couple of wins for that. But you probably don't want to do that too much because it is the draft's coming up, and you know you got really good people coming in this draft, especially like Caleb Downs. You might want to see if you can get into the Caleb Downs sweepstakes, y'all. Might want to see if you can do that. And then finally the AFC West, y'all. So the Chargers. We're going to talk about the Chargers first. Chargers started off the year pretty strong, 3-0. A lot of people were like, oh my God, this Chargers division to finally win. And then the last 2 weeks has just been like pretty bad. Losing to a Giants team that ended up losing Malik Neighbors in the middle of the game to a torn ACL is not good at all. Like the Giants are one of the worst teams in the league, and you lost to them with Malik Neighbors again with a bad ACL. Oh, actually, not a bad ACL. He tore his ACL, and then had turf. And then they revealed he had like turf toe and some other things too. Like that was the fact that you lost to them without that, and you kind of let Jackson Dart in his first ever debut just run all over you guys is pretty unacceptable in my opinion. And then to let the Commanders, who Jaden Daniels was playing in a knee brace and also again coming back from injury. To let Jaden Daniels come back on you guys and score 27 unanswered points is also just like wow too. And then the Chargers, it just gets worse and worse with the Chargers curse again. They lost Najee Marshall for the year to an Achilles. Omari Hampton is now on IR, so the rookie running back they drafted is now on IR. Joe Alt is hurt, is on IR as well, is hurt for a while too. The Chargers just cannot get a break, man. It's just Chargers curse. Chargers being the Chargers, they can't escape it, and then they're kind of like just on a bad downward spiral. Hopefully the Chargers, we can pick it up, and then again, they're not out for the year, Omari Hampton and Joe Alt, so they'll get them back, but you definitely need, like at the minimum, the Joe Alt factor. You need Joe Alt back way sooner than later. The Broncos, they got a big win against the undefeated Eagles this past Sunday. Came back down and scored 18 unanswered points and then winning that game 21-17. Denver's offense hasn't really looked too good this year. Bo Nix hasn't really developed too much from his rookie year. Cortland Sutton's still a really nice receiver. He's a wide receiver 1 on their team. Probably wouldn't be a lot of other places, but still a really good receiver. And then he's got Troy Franklin as a new addition that he got from college at Oregon. So he's got a nice addition over there. He's still hitting Mims with deep balls. J.K. Dobbins having a resurgence since coming off the injuries. J.K. Dobbins having a wonderful year, but you know the Broncos offense as a whole hasn't really looked good. Denver's defense, I believe, is the best defense in the NFL. Nick Bonito is going to be, at this point, like barring injury, which again, knock on wood, Nick Bonito is, I believe, the best linebacker in the NFL, and he's already already I think he's at like 5 sacks or something like that. Actually, let me bring up his stats real quick. Let's bring up Nick Bonito's. Let's bring up his stats if we do not mind, because Nick Bonito is having a like incredible year. Here, let me bring it up. So, yeah, he's having like a great year. Hold on. ESPN.com. What's his stats this year so far? Yeah, so he's got the look. He has the most sacks in the NFL at 7 already, and then he's playing. And obviously he's playing great in coverage and stuff too. Nick Bonito is the best linebacker in the NFL, and he's set up right now to be first team All Pro again, which a lot of like media people, I feel like, when it comes to, like, they only do this with quarterbacks, but like when it comes to all other positions, like the stuff like the All Pro stuff matters for them to like get into the Hall of Fame. But for the quarterback position, they kind of like, a lot of people harp on quarterbacks like Super Bowls and stuff, and they kind of like discard All Pros and Pro Bowls. I'm like, yo, these All Pros and Pro Bowls like matter. Like, you know, if you're first team All Pro, typically they think that, hey, you're the best at the position. Like, you know, these things matter, and these things definitely matter. And I feel like I've seen a lot of media just kind of like push stuff aside for like, you know, MVPs and all this other shit, like, oh, maybe like playoffs and Super Bowls. That's what they do postseason, and they don't like care about like the actual like the stuff that's like gonna get you into the Hall. Like, yeah, a Super Bowl is nice, but we've seen people win Super Bowls that aren't that good that don't get into the Hall. But what does get you in the Hall alongside the Super Bowl is them All Pros and them Pro Bowls. Like, we've seen people that have both a bunch of Pro Bowls and All Pros make the Hall of Fame that never played in a Super Bowl or never won a Super Bowl. Randy Moss is like one of them. Randy Moss is one of the greatest receivers ever, and he played in the Super Bowl, which they lost, but like, I mean, yeah, he made it, whatever. But the thing with his All Pros and Pro Bowls is what matters. Like, is what matters. That makes it like the thing there. So yeah, I just like, sorry about the little rant there. Just wanted to make that clear. Kansas City's disappointing year as well. Started off the year in Brazil against the Chargers. They lost that game. It's in Brazil, so I kind of like, I don't know how much stock to really take up in that. Plus, they hoed the Chargers out of a home game. That was one of the weirdest decisions the NFL ever made to me, was the fact that for a division rival team to lose out on their home field advantage because they wanted to go Brazil was crazy to me. So the fact that like they're not gonna play in LA this year, they're like LA's not gonna have a home game against the Chiefs, but they have to go to Arrowhead at some point later this year. I just felt the NFL just screwed the Chargers out of a home game with divisional. Again, like the reason why it worked so well last year for Eagles and Packers was because the Eagles and Packers aren't division rivals. So you can play that game in Brazil and it's not going to affect like home field advantage or anything for those teams because they're both not division rivals. It's not like it's gonna swing too much anyway. But yeah, Kansas City's been pretty disappointment this year. They also again made some mistakes against recently against the Jacksonville Jaguars. That pick six that Mahomes threw, that was 99 yards, that was dead ass just a great play by Devin Lloyd. But that's one of them things where it was just like Mahomes just didn't see them, and then it cost you points on the other end because it went all the way down for 99 yards. Chiefs have an opportunity though, because they play the team that I believe is the best team in the NFL, the Lions, this week. They have an opportunity to go ahead and put themselves back up in that spotlight if they beat Detroit, but that's going to be one of their tougher matchups of the year because Detroit's offense has just been playing out of this like world, to be honest. And then lastly, the Raiders. Geno's been having an awful year. They signed Geno to a contract for a couple years, and Geno has been throwing a ton of interceptions. Has not been good with the ball at all. Has been so careless and loose. Brock Bowers, who was projected to be the number one tight end in fantasy, and was actually a lot of people's like top 10 on the draft boards. Brock Bowers has kind of been dealing with injuries. So Brock Bowers has been in and out, and then when he has played, he hasn't been like the consistent dog that he was last year. Ashton Genty's having a solid, I would say, rookie campaign, but he's also playing behind a bad O-line, so bad O-line play. A generational back can only get you so far, as Saquon Barkley. Geno is spreading around to like a bunch of weapons, right? Like he's getting the ball to Trey Tucker and a bunch of these other guys that are on the team, but you know, the Raiders just haven't really been good on offense, been good on offense, mainly because of Geno doing turnovers, and then their defense is just abysmal too, so it's pretty nasty, y'all, I'm not gonna lie. And then that's gonna be it for the AFC side. You know what, guys? I'm actually going to split this up because I've been recording now. I looked at this. It's been 35 minutes recording. I'm going to split this up. So I just did the AFC side first. I'm going to do another video with the NFC next. I'll do the NFC video. You know what's funny is I'll upload the AFC video first, and then I might do the NFC video tomorrow, only just because the Eagles and the Giants, they play in about like 20-25 minutes, and I low-key about to go get some food before that game. So yeah, I'm gonna end it off right this. I thought I was gonna do the whole thing, but I'm actually gonna split it. So I'm gonna do AFC first, and then I'll do another video with NFC next, and then I'll see if I'm gonna record again for either after the game or if I wait till like tomorrow to do the other side. But that's gonna be it, y'all. I appreciate you guys for tongue-tied. I appreciate you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching another video of mine. I really do appreciate you guys and love you guys for all the support. My name is Y2Shadows. I'll catch you guys in the next video, which is gonna be more NFL discussion. Catch you guys in the next one, y'all. Deuces, Chaos Control Army Gang. I'll see you guys in the next one.